Hello. How are you guys? What a crazy past 2 days, eh? Nancy, Rachel, Terry, Megan, nice to see you guys. How you guys doing? Did you have a good weekend? Have you blown through all the food you've bought? Because I think we have one ice cream left and it's dire times now. I don't mean to joke, but I do want to kind of keep it light because I think a lot of us here are trying to focus on something different. So, but please, if you're feeling the stress of it, you are welcome here and safe here as well. So, and I will say, for the most part, my life hasn't changed. I work solo and obviously I live stream, but it has affected me in other ways. So, that's nice, Terry. Yeah. It's raining here. I can't really work in my garden, but I did recently. But yeah, my husband's home and my daughter's home. She would have been home anyway for spring break, but not being able to see her friends is pretty much a drag. Hi, Lisa. How's it going? Nice, Nancy. Yeah, I know, braving it as well. Still storing nuts. You want to ship the kids back to school. Well, I did send a newsletter out yesterday, and I'll send it out again for anyone who signs up for it. And really, I feel like we're being inundated by emails, by people's protocols and kind of keeping you updated. Nothing's going to change for me because, like I say, I work solo, and I can still live stream and work behind the scenes like I do. Hi, Finleys. How's it going? Welcome. But I did send an email out yesterday just telling everybody what we're going to be doing this week and with a few crazy suggestions on how to keep your kids busy because I have one of those kids that likes to stay busy and likes being around someone. She likes to be on her own as well. She's kind of got that mix like me. But I had to always keep her busy. She wasn't the type to play with dolls or trucks or whatever. She just really wanted that interaction. So, is Finley's Patty? Nancy, how'd you know that? You're still trying to find a cat pattern for your quilt. Megan, you probably can't even work on it, right? Because your daughter's home. Hi, Malin. Yeah, I know, Rachel, exactly. Finley's equals Patty. Okay, yeah, I see it now. Okay, cool. All right, I'll try and remember that. Just remind me, I'm really terrible, but I got Mama Said So is Terry now, so at least I got that straight. So one of the funny suggestions I put, they're not funny, and some of them are, I know most people are going to be like, ugh, whatever, lady. But some of my suggestions in the newsletter were making stop motion videos. I see kids pick that up like that and they have a lot of fun. In fact, once I was visiting my friend and their son showed me all these stop motion videos he was making, and I was already dabbling in that, just like you guys see I do them, kind of silly little videos occasionally. They are not the fastest thing to do, but at the same time, if I'm in the mood, I do it because it's really fun. Hi, Maria. Hi, Angela. Hi, Cindy. Oh, look at all of you here. There's already 24 people here. I've had a lot of new subscribers in the last 24 hours. Welcome. And this is what we do. Usually I cut something out today, and then on the other 2 days, I sew it. And you guys can challenge me, ask me questions, whatever you want. You can ask me an unrelated question about a different sewing project. So that's awesome, Megan. Yeah. Cindy, your project bag turned out really awesome. You made 2. That's crazy. Yeah, Megan, exactly. Yeah, so the stop motion thing, I know that's screen time, but at the same time, if they have siblings, they can involve their siblings. They can do whole things with their toys and stuffed animals, with their parents without even them knowing it. And they're really fun to see what they come up with. And it does mean that you have to give over some sort of device to do it, like your phone. But hey, being off your phone for a little while might be great, right? But one of the funny things that I thought I would share with you is when I was probably about 5, when there was no stop motion apps, I'm pretty sure it was in first grade or something. We stitched on burlap, and I brought mine in. So it's this right here. So you can see I stitched this cat face on burlap. My mom has had it. Those were my initials because my maiden name was Graves. And this is one of two things my mom, of my things, grabbed before her house burned down. And I brought the other thing as well because I've mentioned it to you guys. Hi, Leah. How's it going? I know, right? I know so many people are home right now, and a lot of you probably need to be working, but you can just have us on in the background. I do that a lot with live streams. I really like having someone chattering on in the background. So sometimes I listen to audiobooks, but lately the type of work I do, I can't do the audiobook at the same time as the work I'm doing. So you watch for work, Angela? I do too. So the other thing I've mentioned to you guys, and this is not something I would recommend for kids, was so when I worked at this fabric store in Humboldt called Fabric Temptations, you had to apply for the job, they would give you a bag, the bag that they put your purchase in. And it was this pastel printed paper, not the sexiest medium. And they would say, this is your application, do something with the bag. And I came back the next day because I kind of got inspired. I was bored. I was jobless. I just moved to this town. I didn't know anybody. And I was like, okay. So I made this is my first quilt. I know I whine about not making quilts, but I made this, and you can see there actually is some coloring there. It's all pieced. I was thinking I'd take it out. So this is the other thing my mom saved. I didn't know my mom saved these things. Oh shit, they just broke. Did they break? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't pull this out. I didn't know my mom had saved some things from the fire, but this is one of the things, and I made it so that I could put my resume inside. Oh, maybe it's upside down in here. Oh yeah, look, so there's it's an envelope, but it's all pieced. Isn't that crazy that I did that? Never quilted before. You can see I made some mistakes. It's not lined up there. But when I came back and asked for a second page or a second bag, they're like, oh, did you mess up? And I was like, no, I need more. And they were like, and I quilted the top of my resume and put it inside so it stuck out and they could see it. But I thought I would show you guys that because I've mentioned it before, and I couldn't really show you at the time I told you about it because it was still a little emotional for me. So anyway, yeah, just give your kid some needle, some yarn, and a piece of burlap or something that's really open, and just let them have fun with it. And that's just one of the 6 things I mentioned in my newsletter, and I'll send it out again if you guys sign up for it. So it won't send out automatically, but I can send it out to anyone who's subscribed since I sent it. So yeah, watercoloring is so great. Yeah. Yeah, right, Megan. I'm sure she's feeling the pressure to create more blocks because people are at home and have the time. So hi, late night. How's it going? Hope I've said hi to everybody. So if you're new here and you haven't joined a live stream before on YouTube, you need to have an account on YouTube called a channel. You guys hear me say this all the time, but it's the only way you can chat with us, and we really love it when you chat. Even if you just say, hi, I'm lurking. Lurkers are fully welcome. I know it's kind of a strange format, and it's a little bit to get used to, but I really like it. So, oh, cool. That's great, Sydney. Yeah. Just keeping them busy and doing something different. I know it doesn't take much. Oh, and then here are I had my daughter make some coloring pages. So here, I created a new scene. Hopefully you can still hear me and see me. Yeah. So we did some really silly ones. She did the top row. I did the bottom row. And you can get those free on my website. I know. It's just I'm overachieving it. But, there's some goofy little coloring pages that you can print out. And I saw Ink Pug did one today too. Yay, lurking. Exactly, Angela. All right, so I didn't even know what I was going to stream today. I actually just all weekend was like, you know what? I'm just going to do, one of you was like, we love sewing with you when you do your unfinished object pile. And that's what I was going to do this week because I thought it would be kind of a nice low stress way to do it. We could all sit there and do our whips or UFOs, whatever you want to call them, works in progresses or unidentified objects, unfinished objects. So, Maria, yeah, I know, right? Hi, Walter. So, hello to my fellow workers. Hi, H. Crow, how's it going? Oh, right, Megan, that's awesome. But then it just popped into my head yesterday that I kind of would like to be able to give you guys a free pattern to make for the few people that maybe have extra time right now and need something to do or just want a distraction, don't want to spend money on a new pattern. I just thought we could make a bag together, and I don't really know how it's going to work, but I have some ideas. I've drafted a lot of bag patterns, far more than you ever saw on Chicken Boots, because there were a lot of failed designs, and I have 2 tubs full of them behind me. I have a few things here that aren't mine that I sometimes grab samples when something kind of interesting comes my way, and I just kind of hold on to it for a rainy day, and maybe I look at it purely out of, I should not make something like this, or sometimes there's something intriguing on it that I do want to make. So, oh no, Nancy. Really? Your internet's wonky? I'm sorry. That's perfect, Malin. Yeah. Who will be sewing face masks for the hospitals? Yeah, there's been a few people doing that, but they're not medically sound. But you could put it over your mask if you wanted to look, cuter, for lack of a better word. All right, so I feel like this could be kind of a big rabbit hole, so let's kind of get going. I'm just going to show you all kinds of bags, and so we can kind of narrow down what silhouette we would like to do. I'm going to show you these 3 because these are the 3 that, like, I've had this bag kicking around me for a while, and I don't know what it is about it. It's never been used. It's just been exposed to things. It was probably a free bag my husband got at a trade show. Hi, Jan. Nice to see you. Yay. Barbara, right? That's awesome. Working on newsletters. Those are so much work. I think really what attracted to me this bag is the color palette. I really like this color palette. The almost clear ripstop was very intriguing to me. But yeah, this is the things I do. I kind of keep things around me that kind of might spark something. This I just found at Maggie. Maggie's my husband's grandmother, who's now fully isolated, 96 years old, I think. This was in her stuff. She had a lot of bags she doesn't use, but we've all seen this kind of design before, but I thought it would be really fun. It was a very simple version, very old, but it's a bag. And now it has a stiff bottom. And it's packable, so it does have kind of an appeal to it. This is very much up my alley as far as like stuff goes to figure out and how to sew, Oh, nice, Walter. Congrats. Really, Sydney? They are? Ooh, vinyl. Oh, the South Bank, I really like that. All right, and then this is a bag my mom had. I want to say she had this when she was in high school or young, maybe not high school. I don't want to say high school. I want to say in her early 20s. She had this bag. Do you guys remember the Nature Company? Can you see that? Remember that company? Yeah, so you guys are chatting up a storm. Shout at me if I miss something that I need to see, okay, you guys? You guys know, the regulars know to shout at me, so. Yeah, I know, right? But this bag, this is one of the oldest things I have. I don't keep a lot. I'm notoriously a person that gives things away and gets rid of things. If you came over to my house and you're like, oh, I really like this, I would be like, here you go. I'm just one of those people. Don't call it generosity. I'm just one of those people. It's weird. It's a weird thing. And I will literally 5 years from now go, where is that thing? And I'll be like, I probably gave it away. I don't even mind. There's been a couple things I've been like my Lord of the Rings set of books I gave away, but I gave it to a very worthy recipient, so that's what consoles me. So hi Hi, Sandy. Welcome. Yeah, and so this little bag, you know, has these gusseted pockets. It's really simply constructed. Look at that. I serged this later because it was unraveling up a storm because it's very old, non-kiss coated Cordura. Before kiss coating was probably a thing. Look at the zipper. YKK, man. It's like a 5.0 coil zipper. Look at that, unfinished. Maria, if you're here, check these details out. Like the fact that this is like raw right here. Whole thing. I serged this. Look at this. The construction is super simple, but the bag is actually pretty cool. I like the little gusseted corners. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. So look at this little corner detail right here on the bag to make the flap kind of hug it. Clever. Very simple. This thing is worked for so long. It looks like I had to replace the hardware because it doesn't match. I don't remember doing that. So it probably unraveled like webbing does. Webbing is shite. It just is. It's very, very weak. Even though we use it for everything, you got to stitch it down really well. So I probably reinforced some of this. I don't know. Maybe I took that apart. I don't know. But anyway, there's that. Let me look. Yes, exactly, Jan. We are starved. A zip double, a collapsible zip double. Are you talking about zip double from Chicken Boots? Because that pattern's almost done. It'll actually be for sale soon, maybe? I don't know. Don't quote me on that. The bag looks like it's wearing glasses. It does! On the camera, it does, Walter. I love that. Maria, me too. I love square-shaped bags. Yeah, exactly. So there's, yeah, and it also has the back pocket. I think this is really interesting that they backed off of the stitching going all the way to the top. And I actually think that this is pretty clever. They removed the stress point, right? They moved it back down there. I have used this over the years. It's just kind of one of those things. And I've washed it, obviously. The leather didn't do so well. Who knew? I mean, animals can stand out in the rain. They don't shrink, right? Okay, so these are just 3 bags I didn't make. I've got my rainbow vortex of doom over here that's totally frightening me. Okay. So recently I went through my pattern rack and I just pulled off any samples that were hanging on patterns that I tried and didn't work. Or some of them I did. I did this musette. So it's like a little very simple bike bag, you know. So a musette is traditionally what I know a lot about cycling. A domestique. Do you know the domestique? The guy at the very back who stays back with the support cars gets loaded up with water bottles and snacks, and then he rides up to the front to his crew. That's what he takes. And so this has reflective tape. Really simple little musette. It's got a cute name. You like the first bag and the third. That was the like weird ripstop one, and then the satchel. You like a bag that has a lot of interior pockets. Cool. Oh, okay, cool. Late night. That's okay. Yeah, so, all right, so then, this was a purse I had at one point. It was okay, but everything spilled out of it. I don't want to make that. We're not making these. We're not making these. We're not making this. These are all, like, Chicken Boots designs that are just altered. You don't need those. Look at that. Brand new Harry Potter bag. What else have I got in here? Oh, that was a trial for a bathroom bag. I got a better design for that. We don't want that. Oh, look at this one, you guys. I'm glad I have one of these. My very first Harry Potter little thing was this owl bag. It's a little wrinkly. And look, his little ears right there. And then a little owl-shaped pocket. Anybody have one of these? We can have some fun. This is a bag. I actually copied this. It also has kind of a stiff bottom square, but you can make it kind of flat like this, and then it gets really big. This is when I have to carry a lot to my house. I use this bag. That's why I have all this stuff in here. You need a bag for work, Michelle? Hey, Kimber. Maria. I know, I had to cut you off. Maria, I need a pep talk to make the pocket bucket one of the bags in the release because, I don't know, I'm kind of shy about doing that one, but I know you're the biggest fan of the pocket bucket. All right. So this was some I did. This is the bin. This is the bin that if anyone visited my shop, it was near the door and it was just the best place to keep it because it was out of the way for us. But people would see it and they'd instantly start shopping from it. And my assistant would be like, don't touch that bin. And it's because it was things like, oh, that was a really great design and that took us 50 hours to make. So that wasn't a great design at all. You know what I mean? Hi, Eliza. So let's see here. This was a purse I had for a while. And I'm thinking we don't do the purse route today. I'm thinking something a little more utilitarian, but I really loved this fabric. It's cuter up close. It's wool. This was the very, 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 very first Wallaby. Well, not the very first. I think Laura Jean from Knitted Wit has it, but it was the close. It was getting close at that point. Bunch of clear bags. Ah, this one I want to show you guys. Another purse. Another big bag. Oh my gosh, look at this brand new Wallaby in here. Don't hate me. Oh my gosh, look at all these Wallabies. Oh, these are all Wallaby trials, and the reason I have these, and I never sold them in a second sale, is because they were construction differences. So look, this one has, it has ribbon, not webbing, and no stiffener, binding right here. This one has cotton webbing. I know, it's really dark. Sorry, it's really dark, you guys. Canvas, that one worked better. Pocket changes. Yeah, so there's just like lots of different things in here. Yeah, we don't need to worry about these. Okay, I just wanted to get these out. See what I had lurking. Get you guys thinking. This was a roll top bag that I did. It doesn't have to be vinyl. Oh, okay. These are clearly pattern pieces. I was like, what are those? But this would probably be a free pattern I'll do one day because I think it's pretty easy to sew. And what's great about it is you can roll down the top like this. And as like far down as possible. And then as far down as you want. I shouldn't say it's possible. And then you have a handle. It'll be secure. It looks a lot better in fabric. This is why we didn't continue to make them in vinyl. But you can put a lot in this. You can put, like, store a lot, and it's pretty safe and secure. And it's like a huge bucket. So, all right. Whew. My rainbow vortex. Look at it. It's jumping off of the table. I'm scared of those things. All right. You like the first shape? You can contest it, Maria. All right. You like a big bag for sweater project or a big shawl? Do you have the project bag pattern? Have you had any luck making it? I think you tested it, didn't you? I use that for sweaters. This is the Chickadee by Isolde Teague. Leslie. Ah, awesome, Mullen. Okay. I have some paper here. So what are we thinking? Are we thinking like a messenger style bag? A bucket style bag? Handles? What do you guys, are we thinking, you know, because we can do the whole like over the shoulder messenger bag, which might be the most gender neutral and functional as far as I'm totally, the word is escaping me, like it's a multifunctional, what's that word, but we could also even make a scaled version down and make it a purse too. I'm gonna see what you guys, there's always a little bit of a delay on a stream. I'm probably like, I want to say like 10 seconds in front of you. I can actually look and count, but I don't really. But it's quite a bit. Might be more. Sydney. Multi-purpose. Is that the word I'm looking for? I keep wanting to say the word diverse, but that's not the word. You like a handle, a bucket, but up for either. Not purse. Not purse. Messenger, messenger. So, what do you like in a messenger bag? Are you looking for, yeah, crossbody and handles. Yeah, I like that idea. Oh, cool, Walter. Hi, Mary Alice. How's it going? You agree not a purse. Yeah, see, I feel like we don't need a purse because we just made the hillside tote. By the way, I finally got it to my mom the other day, and she loves it. She's like, it fits everything. And I made her the smaller version. So if you are looking for a great purse, even if you need it to be a little different, that would be a really great launching point. Sturdy enough to hold a laptop. Okay, okay. Messenger. You want to learn a new technique, Leslie? Oh. Messenger bags are good. I'd like it to be rainproof, not too open at the top. Okay. Are you asking for new bags? Yeah, so Louise, I'm going to design a bag with you guys for the next couple days. And then I'm going to release it as a free pattern for you guys. So now's the time to say the kinds of things you like. A giant carrot. What did I have it? Oh, that one. Yeah, I should just make that a pattern. I feel like that one, trying to think where I got that. I made it, but grommets, discussion of snaps. Oh, okay. I am not an expert on those things, Leslie, but I'm always up for it. Yeah, I think that's sturdy enough for the laptop, because like something like this doesn't fit a laptop yet, right? I mean, it would fit my husband's. He doesn't have a very big laptop. But it could also have just stiffener at the back. And it could be a little squarer so that we can have a padded pocket. And pockets that zip closed. Yeah, I think that's great. I like that this has this zippered pocket. That's hilarious. And then maybe one of the, something like a zippered pocket on the front. So let's say a little bit straighter, right? We could have, what I like is, I like a place to put papers, like mail, you know, mainly because I used to always had to go to the post office. That's how we got our mail, and so I'm used to that. But I like being able a flat spot to keep papers, you know, and that can be like on the back, or it can be behind pockets, you know. So you could have something like a gusseted pocket here, maybe like this one is. But then you could have a zippered pocket here, and maybe even a smaller zippered pocket, if that's useful. That's my universal sign for zipper. Terry, let's go. Hook and loop. Yeah, I don't like hook and loop either, Leslie. It's interesting you say that. And zippers sewn like these flat styles are so easy. It's as easy as sewing Velcro. If you thought of the zipper as Velcro, maybe that would get you over that kind of like trepidation to sew it. But if you're just sewing it flat and it's secured on the ends, no, easy. So easy, yeah. Yeah, I think so, Walter. I think like we could have a back sleeve back here. That's a little bit. You could put stiffener in that sleeve and slip your laptop back there, and maybe it's a tiny bit gusseted inside for the laptop to sit. But what is the pocket size that what's a standard laptop size? Not that I want to body shame any laptops, but what's a safe pocket, or what's a safe laptop size? I'll decide the pocket size. Yeah, I think so too, Patty. I'm just talking about the pockets for now, you know? I was like, what? Who wrote that long thing? That was my Streamlabs thing. Yeah, exactly, Melinda. I think the fitting the water bottle or mug, I mean, we could make a detachable or a optional, you know, pocket on the backs, on the side, you know, that's kind of comes out. So you can fit a water bottle maybe. Yeah, that's true, Barbara. Maybe a small zipped pocket on the inside. Or even, you know, we can put, like, let's say we're, this is my pattern card we're going to write on, but I'm using it to shield all paper underneath from Sharpie. So let's look at our bag from above. Okay. So we have this, right, we have the bag. We're looking at it from above. This is the back. And so we have this, like, pocket that kind of comes out for the, laptop, iPad, and see a pocket that's sewn flat to the back. You can leave it off or put it on if you want. A mesh pocket, yeah, it could be a mesh pocket. Okay, 15 by 10, 12 by 8.5, 15 by 10. What the heck? Not that I'm body shaming. 15. That is a honkin' laptop, Walter. That's a really big bag. Are they really standard 15-inch? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so 15 by 10. Holy moly. I am obviously not in the executive workforce league. Yeah, I think the elastic thing. Yeah, so then you can have an elastic pocket over here on the outside of the bag for a water bottle. You can also have one right here. And I think when you're looking at the back of it, now this is the inside, right? So we have our laptop sleeve. We might have our, you know, our water bottle thing here. We can put a, you know, a zippered pocket back here. That's really secure, right? So you could put maybe the EpiPen in there. You could put a wallet, or your you know, maybe we could make an eyeglass. This can be separate, and you can have two pockets. This one could be on top, and this one can be behind it. So it's like this. So this is the zippered pocket. This is just the flat pocket, and they're both on top of the sleeve. Your laptop's 17 inches. We're getting really personal here, Jan. 13.5 by 9. Okay, so I just want to give you a scale. Let's see what this measures. So this right here is 13.5 wide. It's not big enough for a laptop because see the rounded corners there? So your laptop would actually sit like way up here, right? It wouldn't go all the way into the bag if it were pressed up against the back. So the 10, okay, yeah, the 10 key. That's what it is, huh? Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So if you see this one on me, you know, I'm about 5'5", right? So what if, hi Leah. Welcome. We got to see the corgi. You guys, I've had my stream labs has been open on the computer over here when I was over here because I'd set it up. And I got probably 5 people that subscribed this morning. And I kept running over to see that little corgi. He's so cute. So this is becoming kind of like a laptop bag. But we could make it so that you can do it laptop or non-laptop. So you could have the laptop, and then maybe like this could be for the laptop user. This is a cords pocket right here. Maybe actually cords go in this one. This is the front. Sorry, this is the inside. Sorry about my excellent drawing skills. Yeah, so if this is your pocket right here, your zippered pocket, right? And then there's this one right here. This pocket back here could be for your cords. So you could kind of coil them up and plop them in here. Cords. And in here, precious items. Water. And laptop here. So that's for this person. And for maybe a different person, on the inside, you don't have to have that laptop sleeve. You could just put in your, we could put in the water bottle sleeve or the water bottle pocket, right? I know that's like hard to imagine there. So you're precious, exactly. And then, so here's my philosophy on pockets. It's your bag. My philosophy on pockets is if you have a lot of pockets and you fill them, there ends up being no interior compartment of your bag, which for a lot of people, that's totally fine because it's been like organized in there, right? A ring pocket. Yeah, exactly. I had a ring pocket on my wedding dress. Didn't even think to call it my precious pocket then. But it was a little, she did a bound buttonhole pocket I pulled my husband's ring out of. It's pretty cool. I did not sew it. I asked for it. I designed it, did all the pattern work, but I didn't sew it. So let's see. So we have this other pocket here. We have the zippered. So you can leave off the laptop sleeve if you like. Use it maybe for an iPad instead. Or papers, documents, things like that. And then just leave out the padding as well. So there's that, right? You can have a little pocket. So this is the other thing, like putting this little tiny pocket down here at the bottom of the bag. That's really weird to grab. I tend to like things like hanging from the top of the bag. And so maybe on the other side of the bag, there could be a hanging pocket or a pocket up high. Because then it's easy to access. So on the other side of the bag, you can have, we can even just have a row of pockets. You can't make this too big. You can make it, maybe one of them can be big. But say you have 2 zippered pockets, one right here and one right here, and it's the whole thing, right? So the reason you can't put too much, you can't put like a pocket across the top of the bag, because when you start putting stuff in there, especially like the car keys thing, it will make your bag crumple to the inside like this, right? Because it gets too heavy. Yeah, and I think you're right, a hanging key thingy, because we can put a D-ring, you know, right here. So maybe what we could do is play around with the sizing of this bag right now and how it works logistically. So we can make like kind of a rough draft of this right now. And then once we start cutting it out and sewing it, we can kind of maybe play around with different pocket configurations. And then that way people have options. Because if we keep the overall bag design pretty simple and boxy, it will lend itself to a lot of different ideas. But let's think about what we want the flap to look like. Let's make our bag look good. So, you know, what are we looking for our bag here? Okay, so right now, I tend to like boxy, but I also like to soften some of the angular things and make them a little bit more organic looking. So if we have, do we want this pocket, do we want a pocket like this with a little like snap here maybe? Because that would give Leslie an opportunity to try out some snaps. You know, Leslie, I think that's for keys or something. And the reason it's up high is so it's easy to grab something from it. You know, I'm trying to think if I have a bag like that here. I think, no, this one's not like that. That's another bag I'm thinking of. I have so many bags. And not all keys have a clip on them, right? Mine does right now. So you can't, like the D-ring doesn't work for everybody, right? Inside. Outside. Other. Inside. Inside. And above. This isn't normally how I design things. Yeah, a cell phone pocket I think is a really good idea. What's the biggest phone right now? I have a pretty big iPhone. I don't know which one it is, but it's big. But I think there's a big phone's a little bit bigger than mine. So we could do this, make this a cell phone pocket right here. And I think like this pocket that's kind of hanging out back here behind. This is kind of looking like the inside, by the way, which I'm not, I would really like the outside to look a little bit different. Maybe the outside, we could do something more like an angled pocket. So if we have a, I'll just draw this while I'm waiting to hear from you about a cell phone pocket. Right? So maybe we have a cell phone pocket here. But then we have maybe something like an angled pocket right here. And it could even have a straight pocket inside. What would go in that though? That looks kind of small. What's with one part of the buckle thing from your roll top bag for the key thingy? The other part could go into the keychain. Yeah, that's true, Leslie. Always close your water bottle. But your laptop's in there too. So the leash, so that means, is the kind of leash that's retractable, that kind of thing? I don't have one of those. Is that what you guys mean? And then you pull out your keys, use them, and it stays inside it's like tethered to your bag. Hand sanitizer. This is under the flap. And so I was trying to decide, like, what do we want as a flap? I mean, you can see on my silly sketch. I don't know if you saw. You're not going to hear me for a second, but look at the bag. I think it's the top left corner. See, I had that little bit of an angle bag, flap, I mean. And then it had buckles. No one wants to use buckles, by the way. 6.5 by 3.25. Let's see what mine is. Yeah, so mine's a little under 3 and a little under 6.5. Or not under 3, a little over 3. So yeah, so mine's right in there. What's with one part of the buckle thing from the roll top bag for the key thing, the other part go into the keychain? I'm not sure I understand that, late night. I'm sorry. AirPods. Yeah, I think AirPods you could put in maybe an external pocket because it's probably something you're going to want to grab, right? For me, what do I put in my purse? In my bag. Like, I don't carry a purse, and I know we're not calling this a purse. So for me, I would want to put my glasses somewhere, and my wallet, my keys, my lip stuff. So how would I use this bag? I would put my lip stuff right here, and my keys probably here, or I have a carabiner. I would hook it to that thing so that they were close and secure, and I like them inside my bag, right? For my glasses, I would probably put them here, and then my cell phone will probably be inside. I'm always trying to put my phone as far away from me as possible so I'm not using it. Magnetic stabs, we could totally do that, PA. I have some of those. That's pretty fun to do. Yeah, so what about that late night? Where did I put that? Oh, well, that's over here. Yeah, so what is it about this? What's on this that you're thinking about? This has, you'll notice, it's got buckles coming off the top, right? There's no pockets on this. Chargers, yeah. Dang, we're going on a trip. We're leaving the house and we're not coming back someday when we're allowed to leave the house. Yeah, right, Eliza? I know, I had two. I was thinking about all the things you guys need, then I was like, wait a minute, what would I do? Glasses, wallet, keys, lip stuff, phone. If my friend Brookwood is here, she'd say, you should stop using lip stuff, but I'm not going to stop using it. Oh, yeah, the buckle. Yes. So you can find these smaller, and you can put one with a half inch. You can get like a half inch one of these. This is a 1 inch. If you got a half inch one, you could sew a little ribbon to your car key ring, your key ring, and then the other one to the bag. And then you have this very positive male-female type of closure. That's what they call it. I'm not being, Hi, Kirby. Right day now. Poor Kirby looked for us yesterday. Yeah, I like that late night. I like that. Talk to Brooke about it. I like my lip stuff. I don't actually use it very much. Okay. Yeah, so I like that. So this would be the DIY version because Tom Ben is amazing and has all those kinds of like things at their disposal. If you guys were talking about that retractable thing, which I think you could buy. Hi, Helen. No worries, no worries. Okay, so let's talk about our bag dimensions here and our flap. We need a flap on our bag. The other thing we can do, what do you guys think? As far as a flap. I mean, we can do, rounded. We can do angular. We could do something more creative. And maybe this is something you guys do on your own. I'll give you the pattern piece and then you can modify your flap. As long as you have a certain amount of depth to cover the top and you can get a closure. Awesome, Helen. That's awesome. Yes, I am your drafter at large right now. You know what's interesting, you guys? I have had a lot of folks, I shouldn't say a lot, but I think I've had 3 or 4 people contact me about helping them set up a video or live stream thing. And one of them is actually trying to do this anyway, and it's just kind of coinciding with what's going on in the world. And she has some really interesting things that she'll be working on. I'm going to share those with you when she's got things more underway, because I think you guys would really like what she's kind of up to. And she was really nice, and she just said, hey, can I pay you, for 45 minutes of your time? And she gave me a really generous amount. And then I've had a couple other people. And it's been really awesome. I really love talking about what it takes to stream, because it's not easy. And I've spent so many hours trying to learn all this stuff and figure it out. I've watched so many bad YouTube videos on how to do things, and learned mostly what I learned from the comment section of those videos, So that has been kind of fun to do, like I'm totally willing to do that to a point. I do have to make a little bit, because I do spend a ton of my time on the outside doing other things like working on patterns and stuff, but it has been really cool. And I feel like the bag maker thing, like this is doing the stream this week, I'm like, this is what I know how to be your pattern drafter. I know how to make other people's designs come to life. Usually this is a very unique format, obviously, and we're all trying to compromise and come together. It's the consensus bag. We'll have to come up with a good name, but it has been really fun. Yeah, okay, Barbara, thank you for saying large enough for a case, because I'm terrible about putting mine in a case. And Miriam Felton made me this beautiful case, and I've been using it, and it's in my basket. So if I make my pocket big enough for that, that'll be great. So for our bag flap, and we could just do straps on the side, like usual. Gosh, I may even have some extra hardware for you guys. I would like a kind of an interesting flap, but I'm not really sure what. And this is the other thing. I don't know how you guys feel about your flap, but I don't like closures on my flap. Controversial statement of the year. I don't, because I don't like undoing them. And like someone said, I'm not a big fan of hook and loop or Velcro, because it sticks to other things, and it sticks to the laundry. I might put a little bit on this. Maybe I would put a tab. Magnets are fine, but you got to be careful with magnets, because you start adding too many, they will start sticking to things. Yeah, right, Patty? Exactly. Yeah, I did like that kind of gusset that was back there. Yeah, so let's just look at a few flap. I'm running out of paper. Wow. I'm actually literally running out of paper too. Okay. So are we thinking like an angled rounded? And then yeah, we could employ that little nifty gusset they have on theirs. Yeah, I mean, snaps are great, and magnetic snaps are really great. They're a little expensive and not really common to find, but since bag making kind of exploded, and all the fabric stores have a lot of supplies, I've actually been seeing them. Yeah, Barbara, exactly. I actually leave the flap off of bags. Something that won't curl up over time. I love that you guys are both mods. It's so funny, and Brookie's not here to see it. Okay, I don't know. Sometimes, you can't think too hard about these things. the envelope, the clutch, the messenger, the booty. I don't know. Yeah, I had that interesting one on the, what did I do? Something like that. It wouldn't be that drastic. And then remember, our pockets are showing underneath here. All right, let's just start drafting a little bit, and maybe we'll come up with some ideas, you know? Because we have our sides. We're going to need our room for our strap. You know, and this isn't a zippered closer. I was trying to read chat and talk. The rounded asymmetrical original. This one here. Yeah, so something like, well, that's kind of bad drawing, but and I think those little gussets back there. And then, you know, maybe the pockets would follow this kind of line. They wouldn't show or be exposed, so the flap could come lower than this, or the pocket higher. But at least it would kind of, I like kind of mimicking some of those lines. You know what I mean? Like having the angle of the pocket kind of go like this. Now back here, maybe this is actually straight across, but it has two sections. So then eyeglasses can go here. There you go, Kirby. And then pen or pencil right there. And then our flap comes over, you know. Yipper. Are you trying to say that we're all not classy late night? You know, the one with 2 points. So that's why I think we could probably offer a couple of different flaps. You know, there could be one pattern piece, but a few different cutting lines. It's not hard to do. Just depends on, like, what I'm thinking is keeping whatever you have secure, right? I also kind of like to dip the front of my bag down a little lower so that when you're lifting up your flap, it's a little easier to get in and out and you're not hung up on that edge. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get to drafting because we have a lot here. I'm kind of liking this front design right here best. And then we are going to have 2 inside things for this other outside option. And we have some flap ideas. And we're going to have a water bottle pocket. Nope, not at all. All right, so let's move my mouse over here. Banish that pencil since it broke. I can't leave these here. I don't know what I'm thinking about that. But we can get rid of these things here. I have some paper. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. a little tall for me. Make my table a little bigger there. I think I have it zoomed in. I'm going to cut my paper. Let's have a small surface here. Thanks for subscribing, Mary. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so just in case some of you are new, welcome today. I haven't told you my name. It's Sarami. It's like Jeremy with an S. And I'm really happy to have you here. So this is what we usually do. Well, this isn't actually what we usually do. We usually cut something out today, and then I sew it on the other 2 days that I stream for the week. So kind of like a part 1, part 2 kind of sewing thing. This year, though, since the new year started, we've kind of been all over the place a little bit. And that's been actually really good too. So today we are doing something we've never done before, and I'm drafting a bag design based on your guys' input. So if you want to type in chat, make sure you are signed into your YouTube account. If you don't have one, just create one. It's called a channel. And then you can chat with us. Chatting and in a live stream and commenting on uploaded videos, you have to have a YouTube account to do that. So, and someone reminded me today to make sure you tell a friend. So she's like, you should tell people to tell a friend. And I don't actually ever tell you guys to do that, but I would appreciate it. So, yeah. But I've been live streaming for 1.5 years now, sewing. And you can look on my channel in the intro video. There's a link to everything we made last year. I think we streamed over 150 times last year, right? So I think we made over 50 or 60 things. So it's pretty diverse. And I have a website. So the website, most live streamers don't have one because they're gamers, and I'm not a gamer. But it's soso.live is the web address. And you can find every project we've done with the links to the videos there. So it's a really nice capsulated version of finding each project. And it's concise and easy to find the parts of the video in the order that I stream them, rather than on YouTube where they may be a little bit mixed up. So anyway, you know what I just did? I'm starting to demonetize all of my videos so you guys won't see commercials anymore. But I'm going to record my own little commercial, and I'll just play it in the middle of my stream. You won't be able to skip it, but if it's uploaded, you'll be able to fast forward it. And it's just going to be a little like, hey, you can support me on Patreon type of thing. And that's just so that I don't really like the ads on YouTube. And I think I've made $26 in 6 months on ads. And so I just feel like for both of us, it's not a great thing. So why not get rid of it? I don't optimize my videos for ads. I could, but I don't. So, thanks, Terry. That's awesome. So you make me sew them things? Uh-huh. I need that shirt that says, yes, I sew, but no, I won't hem your pants. I need to tie my shoelace. Sorry, guys. Wait a second. I'm going to lean against my table here. I don't think I've ever tied my shoe like this before either. All right. Let's do this. Generally, when I'm designing a bag, the sketch for my bag is actually just right here in the corner. I don't have a fancy design book or anything like that. And it is kind of a bummer in that I don't really have that like great historical archive of all my crazy ideas, failed ideas, and things like that. I've had young designers ask me, oh, can I see your portfolio? Or my design book. I don't have one. So this is how I do it. And my pattern rack is kind of my my design book, you know? And then these bins of failed things or things I'm exploring are kind of my historical thing. All right, so we are talking, what'd you guys say? Your laptops are like 15 and a half by, what was it? That's awesome, Terry. Okay, so there's the, I'm scrolling up to chat. Your laptop's 17 inches, Louise. 15 by 10 for Terry. Same with Sydney. Patty's 14 to 16 inches wide. Walter, 15 by 10. There's a few 15 by 10s. Your MacBook's 12 by 8.5. So if we can fit the 15 by 10 thing, that seems pretty much like it'll encompass quite a few. Because we're basically making a satchel that will serve your needs to go to and from work, right? All right, so we're going to need our bag to be a little bit bigger than that. So let's make it, this is 15. Let's start with, I'm going to make it 17 including the seam allowance. I draft with seam allowance. I don't draft pure, in other words. All right. And what was your other measurement? It was 10, right? That was a big bag. I'm going to draft with 1/4 inch seams. If you don't like that, let me know. You guys are my boss today. So if your laptop is 10, you know, I've given us an inch around the perimeter right now, mainly because I know once the laptop's in there, it's going to go like that. Exactly. The computer needs the ease. And just know that if you're like, oh, this is going to be for a laptop, I don't really need that. You can scale down pattern pieces. These will be digital. You can scale them down a little bit. Even if you did it at 80%, it's probably going to be enough smaller to fit other people's needs. So play with that with your computer sometimes, you know. Like you can even do the math. Like say, you know, a bag finishes, you know, whatever it does. Play with the numbers. Take one of those measurements and multiply it by 0.8 if you want to know what 80% of the size is. So then you know, right? So if it's a 10-inch wide bag and, you know, 0.8 would be 8 inches, right? So now you're like, oh, 8 inches, that's a little bit better what I really want, you know? So think about things logically before you have to print them out a few times. It might help you get a little bit more perspective on what the size is, especially if you put it in front of you. I just swallowed funny when I was talking. All right, so this is 17 right now. I have a feeling we're gonna make it a little smaller. We're gonna start with that. And if you guys are saying your bags are like, or your laptops are like 10, we don't need as much space ease this way, but we also don't want the bag to look kind of crazily out of proportion. So I say we make it about 11. If I do 12, that gives 2 inches above. I'm going to say 11. So I'm making it 11.5. Right? Yeah. I always use these little see-through rulers because they're just really great. I can see everything. I can make parallel lines. Old school. All right. So now we have, this is our front and our back, but our front's going to have a little bit of a scoop, you know? And we're going to cut it out. And I do draft on manila paper. I know it probably seems a little decadent and wasteful to not use white paper or just like other paper, but it makes it a little easier. I don't make as many mistakes as I used to either, right? So I know this isn't my final pattern. I know that for sure. But I like being able to trace around my pattern pieces, and I don't mind taping paper on there if I need to, you know. All right, so now we have this one, and now let's trace it off for our front. I think I might get a better use of my paper doing this. I'm going to cut this one out. I always cut with the pattern piece to the on the inside of my blade here. So if you're left-handed, you would have the scissors on that side. It's more accurate to be able to see where your line is. Typically, I cut the line off. You're not going to see my best cutting on camera, for sure. Mainly because I can't lean over my work the way I normally would, and I'm going to true it up later. So I'm basically just trying to get a prototype going. I do want my prototype to be as close as possible to where it's going to be at, so I don't rush through the process and I don't skip over things. Like if I already have a hinky feeling about something, I try and address it. Just because time is pretty precious, you know? So if you can, you know, kind of cut out some of those questions, do it before. All right, so I'm going to dip the front down a little bit. And then that way we can, why isn't this folded straight? The heck? Do you guys see that? I can't really see very well because the manila paper is underneath. I never draft with the paper underneath. But it's just kind of hard to facilitate the drafting with the paper off to the side. All right, so now we'll have our front and we can start looking at our pockets. All right, so as far as our little gusseted pocket goes, your iPad's 10 by 7. I think mine's 12. Ooh, I have a big one. So this is, you're saying yours was 3.5 by 6.5, right? Yeah, I think we're going to be fine there. Look at how much space we have. We have a lot of real estate on the bag here. So maybe we don't want our pockets to go all the way to the edges. Maybe we do. Or maybe we add another one. Like the proportion of what we were drawing on the paper isn't what we're seeing now live. So let's see here. If we keep our pockets simply constructed, they're going to go into the seams. And putting the pockets into the seam will also give the bag a little bit more structure because you have a few more thicknesses going in there. And it might prevent us having to use any stiffener or things like that. We might have to use some Pellon. And I'm a big fan of that because one less layer is always a good thing in my book. It's easier to sew as well and less to cut out, less to buy, all the way around, right? So if our pockets go into the seams, that's great. But it also means, and we're going to have actual sides to our bag. This isn't going to wrap around like this. So in other words, the pocket ends at the seam and the seam ends at the front of the bag. You know, it's not going to wrap around. I'm not a fan of those kinds of pockets because your stuff slips back into these corners here and it's a nightmare to use, right? All right, so if we were to do this kind of maybe angled pocket like this, maybe right here we have the room to do a cell phone pocket and an eyeglass pocket, right? Something like that. This isn't very deep, but it's deep enough for a lot of things. And this is zippered. This is going to have to be separate because we're going to need something for this to go under. And do we have a pocket going? I had one kind of straight out like this as well. And then we were thinking about glasses being here and something there. Oh, it's an iPad Air too. I can't remember what mine is. It has the pencil. Aren't I terrible about these kinds of things? I love telling a story, but I'm the worst about the accurate details of one. I'm the first to admit this. So this is what I've got going here. Can you even see that? Let me do something a little darker. So I have 2 of these pockets now. going across the front. I have this angled pocket with the zipper, right? But maybe maybe these aren't flaps. Maybe they are, maybe one of them is, one of them isn't, for something different. It could even be, what do you guys think on the front? Sorry, I know this probably shakes the whole camera, huh? You can do this. I'm not really digging that. It's kind of too asymmetrical. Hi, Elska. How's it going? Welcome, welcome. It's a lot of pockets on the front. What if it was one big flapped pocket with two dividers? I like that. You guys can't leave me now as far as like your input. Yeah, right, Barbara? I think you and I would use this bag the same way. We could do that. But yeah, you'd always have one curled up. I say until you guys chime in with anything more, I'm going to leave it like this. One, and then no flap there. Flap, no flap. And maybe we could have this be a little bit gusseted, you know, so that the pocket sticks out a little bit. I even have this higher than the bottom of the bag, which I think actually is kind of good. But I don't want the bag to kind of like slump down till it rests on this seam, you know? We might just have to play with that. You like it so far, Walter? Okay. And these could be pins. These are pretty big pockets. So there's limited things you can put in here. You know? Maybe this could be another zippered pocket. That one zipped this way and this one zipped this way. Yeah, right, Barbara? Yeah, exactly. They could add it there. Gussets are good. I think gussets are good. Yeah, so on this side here, we could make this one zip up to here. And then this one zip back there. Then you'd have two zippered pockets on the front. And then no divider right there. I actually do that sometimes, though. I will make a whole zippered pocket and make a divider with one zipper. One flap with two dividers is cool. All right. I feel like this line isn't lining up with how our flap would be. But that's okay, because maybe we can make it so that it just covers it all. And gusset, yeah. And maybe even this. I do like a nice rounded shape, though. Is more shaped with a little angle to kind of keep our angle thing going. I mean, in this, if this has like a little gusset in it, maybe we could get that cool little like thing going on with that one has. There's a lot of sound effects with pattern drafting. Yeah, it does, Leslie, and I think that's a good thing because then you can leave off things like stiffener. Because if you put I like the pockets to go into the seams because it adds more structure to the seams, like the bones of the bag. But these are big pockets. So it's a, I mean, this is pretty great. I mean, let me get my eyeglass case. You know? That would fit great. And my flap would cover that. So this is a pretty big case. Pretty stiff. All right. All right, so these, this is my back, right? Let's draft some pockets. So we're going to need 2. If you don't have one of these, you don't need to use it. You can just use a awl and poke through there, just for some guiding amounts. I'm using the halfway mark as kind of the division of the pocket. Sometimes it's nice to just keep it really simple. Yeah, I know, Leslie, exactly. And I think the reason I was saying that, was like, it's kind of interesting how I drew this above the seam. I don't know why I just did that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking late night. Exactly. Kind of making that angle, kind of keep that little angle thing going, especially if this flap ends up having to come across here and this hangs out a little bit. It may not look as good, you know? So I think, Leslie, that this will actually be in the seam down here. I don't know why I naturally drew it up higher. I think visually I like the way that looks, but I don't think that's how we would sew it. And remember, this has seam allowance, so it's more like here. And if we left that like that, it would make the bag slump to there when it was setting down on the ground, you know? Hi, Ramona. Nice to see you. All right, so then we have our pockets here. So let's try and keep this simple and reduce our number of pattern pieces by making the pocket bag the exact same pattern piece. So we have a space here of 8 1/4 inches from edge to edge without seam allowance. So that means our pocket's going to be 4 1/8. And then let's see here. Make it about, let's see, about right here. Let's make it like here with our seam allowance. And then we're going to need to add the gusset as well. Well, it could be, but really you just would turn under that edge and top stitch it down. But with the gussets, yeah, it'd be hard to keep it straight because those gussets going to pull. And then it's going to, you're going to really have to kind of like make it straight. We did this on the closet organizer. I don't think anyone's made that but me, but that is what I did. I did these little like gussets there. And so the way I look at it is, how much depth do we want? Do we want, like, let's see, these are pretty deep. Like, these are really deep. I think that's too much. It goes to 0 down here and up to 2 inches at the top there. It's a pretty big pocket though. I like the way they look. So I think maybe a 3/4 inch gusset all the way around would probably be sufficient. And so we're going to need to add that. So let's make our pocket. We're just going to make it the pure amount first. Here. Looks pretty narrow now, doesn't it? And narrow and long. But that's because I have a hem amount on the top. Okay, so that's mostly our pocket dimension here. So then let's add our 3/4 inch gusset. And I'm losing space there. I'm gonna have to move it over. Here, I'll just use this one here. Just ignore this one right here. Not that you care. I needed seam allowance besides that 3/4. All right, so now we have our, we have this line here. This inside lines is my finished pocket from the front, but we still have our gusset we're going to add here. So I'm going to add 3/4 inch. And we could do an inch. Let's just do an inch. And then I'm going to add my seam allowance, which is 1/4 inch. So we're going to add 1.25 inches all the way around. And now look, I'm going to run out of space down here too. Gosh darn it. Tape it on. So I have to keep rearranging where my pocket is on the pattern. Okay, 1.25 inches all the way around. And then we're going to cut out our gusset here. And we're going to cut it out immediately so we don't forget what lines are which. And we can edge stitch our little pocket perimeter here when it's sewn, so it'll really frame it and kind of make it pop out with the edge stitching. I don't know what that means, Ramona. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of ways to explain that, but probably exactly what you just said. Just add some, in this case, 1 inch around 3 sides and then box out. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I just had to add a little paper because I kept running out of room there. And it's just our prototype so far. And we'll see what works and what doesn't. There's no way we could have made a bag like this for chicken boots. It would have been too detailed. Too much work. All right, so now we have our pocket, right? And I think I'm trying to decide if I want a nice little curve here. Now remember, this is really my pocket. A nice little curve here so that it's a little easy to get in and out. You know what I mean? Sometimes what happens is when you sew this little flap, it's so close to the edge. I mean, I'm obviously not drawing this to scale, but if it's so close to the edge, you can't really get in there really easily. So, I kind of like that when there's a nice little dip there. Let's just see how it goes. It's our prototype. We can do whatever we want. You were way ahead of me, Ramona. I feel like I'm doing something wrong right here, but I'm going to do it this way. Sometimes I've got to do it, even if I'm thinking it's wrong, I got to do it to know and understand thoroughly why. But I'm going to end up needing a facing for that, or I'm going to have to bind it. And you know how I like binding, but I don't have to make you guys do it. So one thing I'll have to revisit later is a place for the closure if we have one. I'm not sure, Leslie, because I just added this right here, and you probably typed this before I did this. I would probably just add a facing there. I think that would be the easiest way to sew this. Maybe having this little dip is an overkill, but I do really like being able to grab something. So right now, our pocket's looking a lot like, you know, like this. You don't have to use binding there. Yeah, it could be. It could just be facing. We'll draw facing for now. It's a nice opportunity to use a contrast fabric too, right? I hope I have fabrics I really love for this. I got to make something cute enough in the prototype so that you guys don't want to look away. But it can't be too cute that I'm using good fabric for a prototype. Hence why everything in my bag bin looks kind of funky. All right, so let's see. Do we want a nice wide one? And with the little stitching line? Yeah, let's do a nice wide one. I have some Cordura I could use, maybe with a cotton trim. Ooh, I just got some wax cotton canvas in. Holy cow, you guys, I forgot to tell you this. I got this wax cotton canvas in, and it's 10 ounces. And my bag that I made, the project bag, the canvas one here, you guys got to see this. All right, who has sewn with wax cotton canvas? Because I'm new to it. But look at the difference. This is 10 ounce wax cotton canvas. I can't. It's like, it's really. I know the screen's really dark, but it's like a green, really nice green color. Woo! It is stiff. I'm gonna set that in my recycling bin. Yeah, like a neck facing. The weight, 10 ounce? Oh, I can't. I'd have to look it up. I've explained it a few times, and every time I have to kind of look it up to understand it. So yeah, a little facing, and that'll be on the inside of the pocket. We'll add some binding. You've not ever used it? Yeah. Dang. All right, so I'm going to write down 2 gusset pockets, 2 facings. And I'm going to start writing on here. The reason I do this, besides like obvious reasons, I also start writing on my pattern pieces so I don't mistake them for scrap paper. I'm going to punch these as well, so the camera's going to jiggle a little bit. I don't have grain lines on here yet. I'm not really worried about that. It's not a garment. And I kind of know what I'm going to do. So, yeah, they're both 10 ounce. It was a struggle, Terry, yeah. Yeah, so it says it's going to be stiff, and it was really stiff yesterday because it had been sitting on my porch for a day or so in the cold. So I think that was part of it, you know. All right, so let's draft our other couple pockets over here. This time I'll leave the seam allowance in there. And we're going to use our gusset pocket. I should leave one out as a reference, or I'll just use the measurement. Make sure that's square. So I'm gonna do the finished line there. Because I think I would like this to end at the top of that. We're doing it zippered, right? We're doing it zippered. And I need to back off of the zipper too. Okay, so just a second. So there's my back pocket, the pocket that's behind right here. And I need to remove my zipper. Now my zipper tape I'm going to be using is 1 1/4 inches wide, which means that I need to remove that off my pocket. I also need seam allowance for the zipper to the pocket, and I need to decide how I'm going to treat this raw zipper edge. Since it's cerame, cerame binds things, I would just bind that edge, or you can just stitch it flat down if you want more of that industrial or techie look. You don't have to bind it at all, but it doesn't add seam allowance either way. So we just really need to remove the seam allowance and the zipper, the finished zipper width, which is about 1 inch. So remove this. I could have some of these a little bit off. That leaves 1/4 inch here for the seam allowance. Actually, no, this is what I need. I need it right here. That's where I need it. All right, so this is our under pocket. And so like this pocket will get constructed with that. This will be 1 unit. This will be 1 unit. And then we'll seam them together and then we'll top stitch it down. Hi Rachel, how's it going? So now we have room for our zipper right there. We're going to bind. We have a pocket right there. And now we're going to sort of draft this other one. Is this pocket really shorter? It probably is. Oh, no, it goes up there. Oh, man. All right, so now we're going to look at our... All right, so let's look at this. We want these to line up on top, one on top of the other, right? So let's draw this one on here. And we're going to pretend that our zipper is sewn on there. Like this. And so that is our finished corner right there. Now we're going to decide, like, where do we want this line? We have it kind of about right there. So if this is the... If this is the finished line of our angled pocket right there, we just need to remove what we need for the zipper seam allowance. Same idea. Right there. And now this is our top pocket. For this one, we will need, actually, I'm going to leave this on here for now. Because we need an under pocket for this and a top pocket. That sounds nice though, Rachel. I think honestly people are like, oh, this part's kind of boring. I'm not explaining everything because I feel like it's probably kind of boring for folks, but and some of this stuff is just something you kind of have to like do yourself to understand what's happening. So see, this is my pocket and this is my zipper. But what I need is a top pocket that the zipper is going to sew to, and then a piece of fabric that's going to sew up to the top of the zipper, right? So that this pocket is stand-alone. The only other way we can do it is if we attach it, which we can, to this pocket. And that would give us fewer layers of fabric. So there's that option where we can... But we really can't because we have this going across the top of this one where the zipper is going to be right here. So because of the way we're going to do this, we want this point going to the top and it covers up this under pocket. We're going to have this as one standalone pocket. Oh no, Megan. Hi, World Peas. How's it going? So I'm just tracing off this. Now we have this. There's gonna be some things that don't line up perfectly the first time, and that's kind of okay. I don't allow the hinky stuff to pass, but I allow some things like that to pass, and that's because I know that if I spend a ton of time trying to decide exactly how I want it to be or how I'm expecting it to be, which is a big difference sometimes, you know, like what you're expecting to get and what you actually get are sometimes, you know, very disappointing, you know. You don't really build some unforeseen thing into your design, right? So that's why I don't worry about that, because this, once we sew this, because there's going to be some little things that don't line up or there's some inaccuracies, that's okay. We're still deciding things. And if I spend so much time on trying to refine that, what if I end up not even using it or that being useful? So, oh, okay, good, late night. I'm glad. I'd always, you know, like, you're in the caravan too. I think Helen is too. Helen Dudgeon is here. Are you guys going somewhere good? Or are you just kind of going into the woods? All right, so now we have our pocket assembly right here. We have our other pocket there. Our front is pretty much at a good temporary spot now. Ooh, that'll be nice, Terry. Oh, awesome, Ramona. I know, right? I love talking this kind of stuff. I know, I saw, I've been kind of stalking Lady Griff's Instagram because she has a Beatrice form and she made a cover. And I've been waiting for her to post a picture that I can really see some of the details. I don't want to bug her about it. But I read her blog post on it. She actually ended up giving me a link to it, and I found it. I thought it was a video, and that's why I couldn't find it. It was a blog post, not a video. And I love the way she described things in it. I was like, oh, this person talks my language. I kind of like this. What did I just do with the pen cap? There it is. Okay. Top angle pocket. Under angle pocket. Now this pocket I'm going to stitch directly to the bag to create the fewer layers, because right now we have 3 layers, right? We don't really want to add another one. It may be necessary. Maybe you want a nice splash of color when you open that pocket, and that's totally possible. So, oh, nice, Rachel. That sounds nice. You know, my husband and daughter and I should do that. We have an RV now. We have our own caravan. We'll call this the straight zip pocket. All right. Our little pocket pile is growing. So let's draw. Oh, we need our flap here. That's right. Oh, man, Ramona. Oh, man. That's a bummer. Let's draw in some of our pockets here so that we have a reference for when we go to do the flap. It's going to be somewhere about right. Something like this. Something like that. That already looks like, right? And then we have our straight zip pocket with the zipper. Yeah, that's about right. Okay. I don't normally put my style lines on my pattern pieces, but sometimes I do it for reference. I don't do it later on because it's confusing for someone else using your pattern. No one else uses my patterns now, but it's just something I was trained. I don't know. No big deal. All right. I really hate curly manila. This is gonna be a free pattern for everybody, Ramona. That's what we're doing today. You guys are helping me design a bag that I'm trying to make just for you guys. So your husband keeps starting to get an RV. Well, Terry, I had no say. He's been looking for years, and they finally found one. He got it like at the end of like, you know, that kind of season where you would go out mostly and use it. So I know he's pretty itchy to use it. Okay, so this is our front of our bag. We're gonna set this aside for now, and look at our pockets on our back. All right, so where did we land? So something kind of similar, except really we need the laptop sleeve. We need the water pocket. And you know, I'm thinking the water pocket, we could just sew it like we do on the divider on the project bag. Yeah, you know what, Terry? That's a legit worry. Speaking as someone who knows. That's how my husband got a Tesla last summer. He's got the lowest one, and he's leasing it. But I didn't realize he'd turned in his other car, and he was just thinking about getting another car, and he wanted something electric. And then all of a sudden he was like, hey, when you and Cricket are going to Santa Cruz, we were going away for the weekend. It was the only thing we did last summer. We did really low-key stuff. And he said, can you drop me off to pick up my car? And I was like, what car? He's always been a car guy. I should have known. All right, so this is our back of our bag. Yeah, right, Eliza? But computer access for sewing. You need a filter. You need to put some parental filters on that computer of yours. The reverse filters, right? So if this is our bag and our laptop is 10 inches. We don't mind if our laptop sticks above our sleeve, right? So let's trace this guy off right now. Well, geez Louise. Look at that. There's the piece I cut off. That's my face. They're crazy, Rachel. How come? Yeah, the elastic thing, we could do that, Rachel Ellis. We were talking about you. I'm going to put this up high, actually, because I'm going to add a gusset. We've been talking about a few different, like, key lanyard type of things. One of which would be a buckle. So you would attach a small one of these to your keys and the other end to your bag, so you can just clip it into your bag. I like that idea because it's something pretty easy to find. I don't know about the smaller ones, though, I have to admit. The other idea is you could, if you have a hook on your keys, we'll have a little D-ring and you could just hook it. It's 23 in one video chat, yeah. Let's see. I think I have a video count, or look. It shows 37 people here right now, but there's a lot of you are talking today. Ages 6 to 9. Oh, they must have loved that. Oh my God. This is my back, so I don't want to cut it up by accident, so I had to do that. All right, so now if our laptop is 10, we don't mind sitting above the pocket. So say we make the pocket about 10 inches. We'll make it the same as the widest. And like I said, if you want a smaller bag, you'll be able to, when you go to print these pattern pieces out, do it at a smaller scale. So, right, Eliza, 39 on your screen. Oh, okay, cool. This right now, I'm doing the inside of the bag on the back side where the laptop sleeve is, cord pocket, the precious pocket. And then we're going to leave room for this water bottle. And you know what? I think what I'll do here is I'm going to carry over my project bag design element where this piece, this is the pocket, it goes across and then it comes out as your divider and you can put your water bottle in there. But we're going to make it go all the way over here. Sound fair? Yeah, that's okay, Leslie. So we just made the pockets for the outside of the bag for the front. I haven't done the flap yet. I have the flap, I have the baffle, the perimeter edge, and then the inside. We're doing all the like more labor intensive stuff first. All right, so then let's see. For the bottle, we're just gonna give you like a 3-inch depth. There are bigger bottles, but what you can do is not attach your divider to the bottom and it'll let your pocket go like this. You know what I mean? So if this was your pocket piece, like say it comes around and then it comes out here. The fabric, if it's attached to the bag on this end and on this end to this side, and you don't attach it on the bottom, the fabric can do this to go around your water bottle right here. On the back of the front. I think we're only doing a pocket that is up high that hangs down a little bit. That one's, I think, right here. So we have the up high pocket that'll be stitched to the bag, and then we have a long one. Both zippered, and we'll have our key ring thingy there. One of them. All right, so then let's put this about right here. So this is going to be for your cords. This is where it'll be stitched down, but the bag itself, I think we should make it about, I mean, this one right here, I think is 4 inches, maybe. Oh, it's not at all. It's not even that much. 3. I was going to suggest 3. I say 3.5 then. That seems a little narrower if you have your laptop in there. You're not going to have much room for much else. Maybe we can make it 4. One thing that you can do is you can make the thing that goes around the perimeter wider. You just need to add to the length. And then you can make your bag, you know, deeper or shallower. Deeper meaning front to back as you're holding your bag, looking at it front to back, that depth, right? Not the depth as in going down. That's the height. All right, so we'll make this 4, and then we'll add our seam allowance as well. Okay. We're gonna put this up high, like that. All right, and so this is your back pocket right here, and now we need a pocket. We're gonna have, this is kind of a big EpiPen pocket. It just got really huge. So maybe what we'll do, I have an idea. What if we make this a zippered pocket, but there's 3 compartments. How big is an EpiPen? Is that you, Barbara? That knows that? Four. Yeah, I think 4 too. So when drafting, you put both quarters together and add at once. As far as my seam allowance, I am drafting with seam allowance for the most part. I didn't in a couple spots because I needed to add the gusset, but then I added the seam allowance when I added the gusset. That's just my way of doing it. If you're in a really nice company, you're most likely designing things without seam allowance and adding it later. And then sometimes you're doing it in the computer. I did a lot of computer design, and I always did it pure with no seam allowance and then added it later because we had a seam allowance tool, and not all CAD programs have a seam allowance tool. They probably do now, but they didn't then. Hi, Sherry. Like a pin or regular pin, but Leslie, isn't it in a I had one once. Do you just carry it separate? Not like, I feel like mine was in a box when I got it. Sherry, I had everyone help me design a bag, and now I'm making the pattern. Yours is about 1¼ inch around. Okay. So we're talking something like my screw punch here, but maybe all the way. So I love cleaning that thing. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, Leslie. Don't they come in a tube sometimes? I gave mine to a friend. I didn't need it. The doctor was crazy. She wasn't crazy. She's just very overcautious. I gave it to someone who needed it. What I'm thinking is, if this was a zippered pocket going all the way across, it's in a plastic case. 3 by 6¼ for old school 2-pack. You guys know a lot about this. Okay. 3 by 6¼ So maybe what I could do is make it like this. So this isn't too big. If this was zippered, I would actually make the zipper shut that way. That's not too big, right? And then we have our precious pocket. We have a double precious pocket. And so the zipper can go all the way across. 1 zipper, 2 pockets. What do you guys think of that? Now, if you wanted this to be more secure in the bag and away from the edges, you could even stitch down through your pockets. You know, right here, to kind of make this away from the seam. Does that sound good? I like that this is so custom. I love it. All right, so let me know if that you think I'm on the right track with this. And then this right here is just a big old open pocket behind there. You could put cords. We can even stitch down if we want all the way through, like that. It wouldn't stitch through this because then I couldn't zip it, but we can stitch this one down first. No, we can't. How can I do that? I have to stitch this to this first. Could I? No, I can't. You like that, Terry? Okay. I'm thinking the yes means that. Okay, so the cord pocket may just be a big pocket. I just feel like these big pockets, what happens is they sag. Especially if you have stuff here. The only way I could make that stitch down is, there is a way. If we made this 2 layers, we could stitch down the under layer. Stitch down the under layer. This is already stitched the top layer, right? And then you fold this down and stitch around it. You wouldn't see stitching right there, but that's possible. But it is part of our divider here as well. This is good. That's a little complicated for sewing. Like, it's totally doable, but when things get a little like over-engineered, I feel like we have a tendency to be like, I don't want to deal with that. I like these kind of fun challenges, but I'm the one who designed it. I know how it works. I know what to expect. Someone at home might be like, ugh, I don't want to deal with that. You know what I mean? So this is kind of a big pocket. So let's think about that. The only other thing I can do is I could stitch down through right here and here for your cord pocket. It just means like right here would be open. That wouldn't be a big deal to me. I don't think it's a big deal, but it's something to think about. You know? Or it's stitched down kind of like this one is. See how this one's stitched to there and it's left open? We could leave it open from here to here. We got this. Okay. All right, I'm going to cut my bigger piece first. I think, though, I'm going to... I need a gusset on the... we need a gusset on the laptop pocket. And if this is sitting on top of the laptop pocket, it's going to need the gusset as well. So let's add our gusset. And we will just... What is your laptop? It's like an inch thick? It could, Eliza, but I'm thinking we put that on the back. The problem I have with that, Eliza, is that this is such a big pocket. And if you have stuff here, it'll make the pocket droop like this into the bag. You know what I mean? So I think preventing that would be good. You could put, we could make this, more like... put the stitching like right here, and then papers could sit right here. What do we think of that? They'd barely fit in the bag. The pocket in front of the laptop, so we need to gusset, only because I'm trying to keep the sewing simple. And if we didn't do that, we would have to sew this pocket in the middle of the laptop sleeve. Bye, Angela. Have a good day. Does that make sense, Leslie? Because this is attached to this laptop sleeve, which is going to have a gusset. Otherwise, if the gusset's out here, right, we have to top stitch this pocket all the way around in the middle of the bag. It's an inch thick. Holy moly. It's okay. Because we're treating this as one thing. I'm trying to keep the construction very palatable for people. So you could, you'd have to finish this edge, which has a zipper going into it. You could put zipper back stops there. That would be classy, right? And so your zipper could stop and you'd have fabric right there. But then you'd have to stitch down this pocket on the laptop sleeve right at the gusset edge. You can do that, but it just adds a step is all. If you want it that way, okay, you understand? Yeah, that's why. And it wouldn't add anything to put the gusset. My only like concern with putting the gusset is that that means your pocket right here is going to go around these corners. But I think what I would do is actually just do a stitch line there, kind of containing it. Yeah, right, Sydney, it's a brick. All right, so then let's make the let's make it about 1.5 inches. I'm kind of excited to see if this works. This whole bag. Okay. I don't need this here. I'm kind of curious if this is going to work right here. Okay, so So we're going to cut this bottom one out first. I have to think here. And this edge here, we're going to have 1/4 inch seam allowance. I keep meaning to get myself a new ruler because this one, it's got all this like, it's suffering. It's like pocketties. As far as stitching it down, it's just more that like, I mean, maybe we should top stitch these pockets on top of the laptop sleeve rather than building in this gusset. Because we're going to need to probably stitch down. I think we should do that, actually. Yeah, I'm going to not include the gusset. It's a hunch. I'm going to go by my hunch. We need a little clearance for our divider. My biggest thing right now is I want to make sure I don't forget any pattern pieces so that when I'm sitting at the sewing machine, I don't have to go, oh shoot, I forgot to draft one thing. And then I end up drafting it at the machine and I don't have a copy of it because I'm literally putting it into my bag and then I don't have a copy of it, you know? So, all right, so now let's get our laptop sleeve on here. I'm going to try and get myself that gusset. Right. So this is this, and then we're going to do our sleeve, the 10. It's more like about right here. Okay. I hate bifocals for this. All right, and let's add our gusset. There's already a 1/4 inch around the perimeter. And I think I'm going to make the gusset about 1 1/4. 6 and by 1 and 1 1/2. All right, I think that'll work, Barbara. Cool, Michelle. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that pocket has a little bit of ease in there for that. But you could also, before you stitch the divider, put your pin in there. Or that way you guys can customize it. So there's a 1/4 inch around. And I think I'm going to give you guys 1 1/4 inch for your laptop width. And I need the seam allowance. All right, so let's do this about here. All right. Draft out our gussets. See, another reason I like these see-through rulers, I can just put that little parallel on there. That's okay, Barbara. I'm glad you can do that, though. That's pretty cool. Create a hashtag. We need to name it. Okay. So we'll set our pocket, this one here. We'll set this on here turn under the edges, top stitch it down, then we'll make our gussets and it'll go on the back of the bag. I'm not done with that pattern yet though. With that interior, like that thing's doing a lot right now. It has the water bottle pocket, the EpiPen pocket, the oh, that's a lot. Consensus bag, the quarantine bag. Oh, this is gonna be fun. The consensus bag. I lived someplace that was a community, like an intentional community. And while I was there, they changed their way of governing things to a consensus. It was really fascinating seeing it. All right, so we have our laptop sleeve. Now, you can cut 2 of these, sew them together at the top, and then treat the bottom. You don't really need to finish gussets like this on the inside because it's at the bottom of the bag. You're not going to see it. The chat bag. I like that. The sequester bag. This is going to be fun. Way back when me and Rayanne decided to this is one of my failed things at Chicken Boots. We introduced a fabric that we thought was like kid oriented, and then we made a couple of items we thought were more like kid friendly crafting bags. Little did we even think about this through that most people buy really fun prints. All of our prints were really fun. They were already really kid oriented. It didn't matter, you know, like they just weren't age specific already. But one of the items I made was this really cool bag. I thought it was in here. I thought I saw it today. And we called it the Chatterbox. It might be here. Oh yeah, it's here. I think she ended up using it next to her machine. So, and so she sewed it down. But this was this bag I made. Let me see if I can get rid of it. This is pretty funny. The chat box and the chatterbox. Okay, so it's kind of warped right now, but it had straps. And then there were little magnets right here. And so it looked like a little house. Like this. And the magnets held it shut. Like this. And it had, I don't remember where the strap was. I think it was on the side. But this way it was really easy for them to close because it had the magnets right here. It was just a fun idea. And we called it the Chatterbox. Okay, back on track. All right, I need to add a few more pieces here. We have our 2 gussets facing, and then outer top pocket, under top pocket. This is the angle pocket, actually. This bag has so many pattern pieces. 1 straight pocket. Front of the bag. Inside. I need to write these notes for myself. 1. What do we call this one? So chat bag. Hi, Mary Jacobs. Thanks for joining us. If you want to chat with us, anybody who's like subscribed, make sure you sign into YouTube or create a channel account. That's what they call it. So you can chat with us and say hi. Today we're designing a bag. You guys are designing the bag. I'm your pattern drafter at large. So, all right. So we have this. I want to call this divider because that's what this pattern piece looks like on the project bag. So we have our water bottle pocket. And then we need these pattern pieces right here. And we don't really need a mark for this little whoop-de-doo because we have the whoop-de-doo for our guide. So we really just need this pattern piece right here. Easy peasy. Okay, we'll just do it right here. I think we will mark this right here. I got this tool out. Where is it? Here we go. We'll notch this right here. Cord pocket. Isn't that this? That's this one, right? Yeah, this is the cord pocket. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Water bottle cord pocket. Thank you, Patty. So this is our pocket division here. So you're gonna have to sew in a straight line. And we just need the top of our, well, we could call it an EpiPen pocket, or our precious pocket. Let's make it 5 inches tall. So it's actually a very standard pocket depth. You guys better make this bag. Hi, Eileen. Oh, the So community bag. I like that. I'm letting you guys tell me what you want in a bag, Eileen, and then I'm drafting the pattern. It's actually really fun. Okay. This complicated of a bag it's only can be home. So the very first thing they made us draft in school was a basic bodice on the dress form. Absolutely. And we did that over and over and over and over again, Jan. We did the front and we did the back and then we did the sleeve. We spent a whole quarter on a sleeve. So it was a quarter system. All right, so here's this bag right here. A pocket. And this is our precious pocket. It's gonna get the zipper and then stitched down. We're gonna turn under this edge right here. I'm doing this to remind myself later. And then this will be a unit. And then this will get, this is gonna be bound right here. We're gonna do this kind of like the a la the project bag. And then we're going to stitch this to the laptop sleeve. Right here, right? We're gonna stitch it down here. This is gonna be left to stitch to the other side of the bag. And then your water bottle can go there, right? Am I keeping up? Yes, Eileen, people have been making suggestions live. We've got all these sketches and stuff. It's been really fun. Where did I get the wax cotton I showed you earlier? That was from A.L. Francis Fabrics, and they hand wax the wax cotton. The other one I had from my blue bag, I don't even want to tell you guys because they were really a pain to deal with. When you Google wax cotton canvas, they were one of the top 2. And you can buy a yard. They cater to selling wholesale, but you can also buy a yard. So that's why I did that, because I'm not going to buy a minimum for, I have a wholesale thing, but I'm not going to buy whatever it would take. So I did that, but one of the fabrics they sent me wasn't photographed. It wasn't what was in the picture. And I just told them, I was like, I think you have the wrong thing here. Maybe I got shipped the wrong thing. And she was like, oh, well, send me a picture. I sent her a picture. And she was like, well, pictures look different. I'm like, no, this is not even the same thing. And then they never replied. And I sent like 6 more emails. I finally left kind of a bad review just to kind of get their attention, because I always notice those on my website. And I would talk to them and would be like, oh, I think that the reason that happened is this. And they're like, oh, you're right. And then they would, fix it. I'm like, that's not what that is, So, oh my gosh, Sherry, really? Yeah. Yeah, so, all right, so let's get back on track here. We have a few more pattern pieces to do, and then tomorrow I'm going to cut it out. So as far as fabric goes, I would suggest something like a lightweight canvas. If you have any of those like linen cotton canvases that some of the bigger fabric, like quilting cotton companies do, like Cotton and Steel used to do, or I don't want to say Cotton and Steel really because I don't buy anything from them now, so I don't really know what they're making now. But that linen cotton like I did the Big Kitty in, or even a little heavier. You don't need stiffener for this bag. And you can interface with Pellon if you want to give it more body. So if you want to use quilting cottons, Eliza, that would work. I would just interface it. But I would probably opt for something a little more, something with more oomph to it. Or maybe you do your prototype in a lightweight fabric. Yeah. Okay. So this is our precious pocket. And if you know, you know. This is our cord pocket. These are all cut one so far, but this is a lot of items, you guys. All right, we have our laptop sleeve. All right. Okay, this is our front. We forgot the flap right there, so let's do that guy right now. Okay, so basically, this is the finished line right here. Pretty sure, right? I'm a little nervous about these working, but I know what I'm doing, right? What's Bosel? There's no toilet paper here either. Yeah, upholstery would work as long as it's not too stiff. I wouldn't want it to, yeah, African wax. That would be nice. That sounds pretty cool. I know. I actually told my husband, I was like, because we didn't buy any and we were just like, well, whatever, like it can't last forever. And I have a little bit here, but I was just thinking, like, could we order on Amazon? I don't know. We don't order a whole lot on there, but why not, right? All right, so here's my finished pocket right here, and I'm thinking of kind of like a little angled flap. Something like that. Fine foamy stuff. Oh, interesting, Rachel. Cotton. You can use cotton. I don't know why people are talking about. Oh, by Annie Soft Staple. Oh, okay, okay. Bosel is foam like by Annie Soft Staple. Okay. I haven't heard of that. But Jan, you're reminding me that I saw the Beyond Measure newsletter, and she has patterns by Blueprint. Wait. Oh, shoot. What's the name of it? I'm sure one of you knows. The price is inflated. I thought they were cracking down on crap like that. You know what, you guys? Toilet paper hasn't been around for thousands of years, right? Currently unavailable. Oh, wow. Right? Yeah, right, Rachel? That's awesome. Headliner. Oh. Oh. Yeah, okay. I know exactly what that is. Like from a car. Yeah. Okay. What do you think of that? That look good? I'm going to do, I did not give myself very much room there, did I? I'm not a big fan of this shape, but I have faith. I'm gonna actually move it over here. I'm gonna move it over here. Oh, that's so funny, Walter. Someone probably stashed it. Yeah, old school, Terry, right? That's what I'm saying. I was thinking more like, you know, I know like this is probably like way more than people want to think of doing, but you could use a washcloth. That's what we did when my baby was a baby. When my daughter was a baby, you know, we just warmed up a washcloth every time and cleaned it, you know. And we can make washcloths. So if you want to do like a, you know, wash them in the washing machine, you could do that. Yeah, Office Max has that. That's true. Facial tissue. Yeah, but that won't flush. Exactly. This looks okay. I mean, it's a little tall because that fold. I kind of want a different angle. More like that. Let me show you. Yeah, we've been doing the online shopping at our grocery store. It's free. As long as you don't need to have it right that second, but you can't go anywhere and get anything right that second anyway. It works great. Like my husband ordered and I get in the afternoon and it was ready at 7. So you can't use reusable bags. That's another drag. I think I need to make this a lot narrower. I don't do a lot of flaps, and I'm really distracted. I'm getting hungry, I can tell. Yeah, that exactly. I don't use paper towels, so that I don't have to worry about that one. Hi, Lexi. How's it going? Are you solo at Hearts? I saw you guys are just doing like the reduced staff right now and you're still, you know, shipping orders. In fact, I want to tell you guys, if any of you can, to support your local shops by buying like gift cards and things. If you can. Oh, there you go, Rachel. Yeah, I never used wipes. They were too cold. So today we're making a bag. The viewers have designed it, and now I'm drafting the pattern. I am their pattern drafter at large. So, okay, so I like that too. Wait, it was Patty that said that. Yeah, I think this little angle is a little better. So, I don't want to lose this piece. So we'll put that here. 2 flaps. We have our precious pocket, our laptop sleeve. So we went with a messenger style bag today, and it's going to accommodate full-size laptop. People can scale down the pattern if they want something smaller. It'll also accommodate an EpiPen and a zippered pocket inside. Your eyeglasses, your phone. Your eyeglasses, your phone. 2 zippered pockets on the front. This is the front. It has this little swoop right here. And here's our back. This is our bag right now. Pretty big. But we got to remember also we're going to put a handle. But we're going to do that when we sew. We can do that with webbing. We need the baffle around the perimeter. There's just a couple of you guys. Yeah, that's what I figured. Yeah, me too, Terry. I think this will be fun. This will be a fun sew. This is going to be quite a sew. Oh, awesome, Lexi. I know. This is fun. This is what I do best. Make whatever people want. Okay, tell me. Because I haven't done it for a while. All right, here's our gusseted pocket on the outside. We can hang that up. So what haven't I done yet, guys? I haven't done the, so we've got our cord pocket, a water bottle pocket, the EpiPen pocket, which it looks a little different scale right now. We haven't done these. We have 2 inside views. We haven't done our flap and we haven't done our baffle. So this is the one we didn't go with. Our other side. So we're going to, this is what we want, right, guys? We did facings for those. We don't need them for the others because they're going to have a zipper or binding. So we're okay there. This is the other side of the inside of the bag. So we have the laptop sleeve side. And that I think I'll cut to and turn. So we can put a little bit of the foam inside. Or batting. I'll probably use quilt batting, you guys. So this is the side facing the laptop sleeve. So we're going to have a little pocket up high at the top. And then this one. What are we doing here? Is this a zippered pocket that goes all the way to the bottom of the bag? Because that's big. We're talking, this is big. Yeah, we've been busy, Eileen. I need a drink of water. All right, so on the back here, on the other side, so behind this, right? So this is our bag, right? And then the laptop sleeve is on this bag here. So on this side, we actually have a curved front. So it actually, this side really more looks like this. This is on this side, right? Do we need this? I feel like this is gilding the lily a little bit, but I still want to add the key thing. And I'm wondering if we do that at the end here, on the side of the bag. Yeah, there is a place, Leslie. Yeah, because there can be one behind the, in the cord pocket. You can do it in the cord pocket. Or in your laptop pocket. And I was thinking we put a document pocket on the back. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I'm thinking we have enough pockets. And we can always add them. And I think at the end here, we put a D-ring or we put it back here for your keys. Like when I'm wearing a bag, do I want to, I like it like, I like it when it's like close to me, right? So like right now I clip it to the inside end of the bag, right? So do you want it there or would you rather have it more secure in the back middle? Yeah, exactly. If it's on the side, you use it. That's what I'm thinking too, Terry. You need more pattern pieces. You say that now until we start cutting this puppy out because I haven't made them all yet. Let's see. I don't even know if I have them all listed here. Gusset pockets and then the facings. We don't have our precious pocket on here. One precious pocket. Oh wait, is our, yeah, we have our precious pocket, our cord pocket. Laptop sleeve. This is a lot of pattern pieces. We haven't even decided if we're going to line it. Yeah, you can, Rachel. Yeah, right, Patty. I think the side with more structure. We might have to determine that when we're sewing it, like get how it feels. Because we can always, if we're like, because it's also a matter of if you're right-handed or left-handed and which way you wear it. Like I'm right-handed, so my bag always hangs on my left hip, and I think lefties probably put it on their right hip. So then you would want to probably orientate that little key holder there. Now the other thing we can do is put pockets on the side baffles. Yeah, I think, Eileen, you could use one of these, your glasses, your phone, or this one back here. Because we don't really have anything designated for this or this. And these are both zippered. You can't bring the house with you, you guys. Okay, it's like I would probably put my glasses, phone, wallet, lip stuff, keys right here. So it was all really easy to access. And on the inside would be why I needed a bag that day. You know? I don't carry a purse though. Okay, so let's see. Let's make the flap and the baffle. And then on the back we also need, I think a document pocket might be too gigantic. Yeah, it hangs on your right hip. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. So then you can put that key spot on either side. All right, so let's make our baffle right now. Let's see how wide it is. I might just make a measurement for that. So we want it to be 4 inches finished. So it's going to be 4.5 inches wide by, let's see, and we're going to have to deal with the top edge still, but that could be bound or just sewn to itself. I think this bag was bound actually. Oh, it was on the front. Look at that. See, they make their flap a part of the back. So clever. Look at that. See that? Sewn into that seam. I love this. This is so cool. Old school, baby. Look at these snaps, you guys. They go through. There's a hole. You see it? Bear spray. Oh, yeah, Rachel. Totally. Like, so what kinds of straps are the best? You want more like 2 carriers on the sides of the bag, right? Yeah, so you could put like a strap, like if your sides were on it, you could attach the strap here and then on the side, right? This is pretty wide. I think that would work good for a wheelchair. But isn't it tough to access? Yeah. All right, so 4.5 by, we're the same on both sides here, so. Okay. 2238 and a half and a half plus seam allowance. So 39. All right, 4.5 by 39. This will be my pattern piece. Because we'll just hand cut that. That'll be my reminder to not forget to cut it. And I'm going to write it on here. Now I think... Now, how are you going to finish the inside? Are you going to fully line your bag? Or would you like it one layer and you bind your seam inside, which I know a lot of you are probably like, meh. Or do you want to overlock it and do one layer? You don't even have to line it. A cross strap with a hook catch that goes behind me around the back of the chair. Ooh, I want to see a picture of something like that. You can put it on the arm of the chair. Oh, yeah. Okay, okay. You don't have arms. Okay. Yeah, I guess some of them don't. Maggie's didn't either. I might look at some pictures of wheelchairs. Are there lots of places to securely hook something to? Or is it more like could you just put, like, say this is a webbing strap that's sewn flush to the bag, maybe with a little loop at the top, and then you hook that over the handles? I feel like I've seen so many different wheelchairs now. I'm getting a few of them kind of mishmashed with each other. You like a fully lined? I do too. But I feel like this can get really thick. That's what I'm a little worried about. So I think we'll kind of address that. Because you could just, cut your front, your back, and your baffle again. You can sew it around the perimeter edge at the top. Leave an opening at the bottom and close it. I have a bag pattern like this. I'm just remembering. Wow. A little late. Okay, so let's make our flap. So this is my back and this is my front, right? And we were thinking we're just going to draw our front. Wait, here we go. I don't like curly paper. Yeah, I think there's a few options here. So I think with the strap idea, you guys, if you do line your bag, that makes it pretty easy that you would actually treat your, I'm just trying to think this through. Yeah, so you could take your back, if you need to sew the straps to the back, you can do that first before you kind of get too far, or you can do it to the ends, whatever works best for your situation. Yeah, see, I figured that might be the case because especially if there's weight in the bag, if you're trying to lift that bag up over one of the wheelchair handles, any kind of handle, it can be really grabby and awkward. Especially if you're like, oh, I'm transferring from my chair to something else and I'm not feeling that stable and you're trying to grab the bag as you go. That seems like a headache, I don't know. Okay, so let's draw my front on here. We have this nice little swoop. So we want that. I hope you guys really do find this interesting because wait till you get to the sewing part. I'm going to probably talk to myself a lot. I'm just going to warn you. Rayanne used to always say when I would design things that I would be sitting there, and I don't remember this. I know she's pulled me out of it before, and then I was like, oh yeah, but I would be sitting there like this. Just sitting there at my sewing machine, sewing in my head. It just popped into my head, Eileen. Honestly, I don't have any good reasoning for it. Okay, so here is my little zipper right here detail. So I'm thinking that this flap comes, and goes just past that like this. Was that you, Patty, that was liking this? That kind of look? And then we can play with magnetic closures. We can even do something like this. Can you see that? Sorry, it's so dark or light. Where's my Sharpie? Where's my Sharpie? Where's my Sharpie? Too many things. Too many things. Oh man, the person that commented on my YouTube video too long is going to hate this video. Yeah, so okay. So let's ooh, I don't really want to draw a Sharpie on here. So we have this nice organic thing here. We have our back. And I'm thinking maybe you could do something really fun with these like little stumpy little magnets. Hi, Vicky. Nice to see you. We're all just staying sane over here. They're telling me what they want in a bag design and I'm drafting it. So I think like if you do something like this could end up becoming snaps, magnetic snaps, or magnets. Awesome, late night. I'm glad you guys like this. This is like for me, my husband was like, oh, what are you streaming today? And I was like, well, we're streaming. I'm going to have them design a bag. I was like, I have no idea what's going to happen, but I don't actually mind. Like, this is the kind of thing I like doing. So he was like, okay, have fun. So what do you think of that, you guys? And then if there's these little marks here, you could also maybe add, you know, buckles, you know? You could even put, there's a lot of ways you can go here, right? You could put a D-ring here and a D-ring here and tie ribbon. No one's ever going to do that. Then too long can just disconnect. Wait, what's that, Ramona? Yeah, you like that flap, Terry? Okay. I like things being a little bit, you know, angular. And then our pockets are underneath that, right? I'm hoping that this flap isn't hiding under there. Like not sticking out, but it could be. My experience with flaps can disconnect. Wait, what's too long? You can just disconnect. Oh yeah, right. I know. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, because I know. I saw that. I was like, I can't edit a live video. By the way, it's free. Okay, so this is my experience with flaps. So when I have done these, and I haven't done very many, if the flap, like if this is where I want it to hang here, adding the depth of my bag right here, this depth at 4 inches, is a bad idea. Thank you, Ramona. Oh, I'm sorry, person, if you're seeing all this. But you're welcome to join our live chat when we're live and hang out. It's really fun. So making the flap go all the way with that 4 inches right there and adding it makes this flap hang 4 inches longer. So what I have found is making the flap barely go across the top of the bag works really good, because what happens is your bag at the top, especially on your body, it when it's on you like this, it gets kind of smashed shut, except for if it's too full, right? Locks buttons. Oh. I don't know what that is, late night. I'm going to write it down. No, if you only knew how often, well, I don't do it very often, but occasionally I'll be reading, I'll find some posts that I want in German, and I just have my husband translate it. He speaks German. Okay. I'm putting that by my computer. I'm going to look that up. Locks buttons. Okay. Maybe I'll check that out. Okay, so there's a few different closure ideas, and maybe we could talk about that tomorrow when we're in front of the machine and we're deciding it. You do kind of have to decide something like this fairly early on in the construction because some of these seams are going to get closed up, right? So you got to kind of give yourself some options, but just know that you're most likely going to use the least fussy and the thing that doesn't take two hands. So magnets are really great, but they have their issues. I think a lot of people worry about them hurting their phones, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think they actually hurt your phones. There's a really fantastic magnet site called KJ Magnetics, or maybe it's K and J Magnetics with the and sign. They would have that information. If you are a sewist that wants magnetic closures, they actually sell them on there. And it has this like little plastic film that you can sew through and keeps the magnet kind of centered in there. Really cool. They're just expensive. This is the reason I never did it for chicken boots. Very expensive. They're not expensive for you. Like literally we're talking like $1. But I couldn't add something that cost $1 just all by itself to a product because you also need the other side, right? You need the positive and the negative. So now you have two. You just added $2 or $4, whatever those things cost. So, but I highly recommend you check out their website. It's really cool. They have so many cool like ideas for kids and people who are interested in magnets and projects on there. So yeah, and I don't think bank cards are a problem either. Buckle Guy. Ooh, okay. I haven't heard of Buckle Guy. So if you're finding like, oh, I really want to make a bag and I don't have closures, you can get around some of this. You don't have to have something by the time you're going to sew this, because you could do things like you can make a D-ring with a piece of binding. If you have an old bag that you're just like, oh, I don't really like using this bag, but it's all I have, but you're kind of wishing you would just donate it or whatever, cut the hardware off of it. I do this more often than anyone wants to know, that sometimes I'm like, the world does not need this bag. I am not letting this bag go into like no one, I don't want people to deal with this bad designed bag, but the closures are cool and I keep that stuff. So that's cool. Awesome. Putting a zipper on the top of the flap to shrink it down. What do you mean, Ramona? Like, you mean for the top across of the bag, like if this is the front of the bag, like a closure, and then you put a flap over it? We could do that, but I feel like construction-wise, we're getting into kind of a tricky area. Brass closures would be cool. Jan, I'm going to look at the bank card thing. I never had any trouble with them, and my pattern holder had magnets on it. Oh, found locks fasteners on Sailrite. Oh, I've been on the Sailrite website. Why is my shoe keeps coming untied? Like to do with luggage, yeah. Yeah, like my husband goes through a lot of luggage, and occasionally when one is getting retired because the zipper busted and it can't be fixed, I'll steal the hardware on it. And I just keep it in, and eventually I need it. Okay, so let's work on our flap here. So we have this flap. It only needs to be the width of the bag. I've also learned you don't really need to make it wider than the bag. Okay, so we have I'm just going to write that on there because I can't see on with all my pencil lines now. Right? And then we're going to add yeah, like that would be cool, like on the edge of the flap. You could do those male and female buckles we were talking about with the key lanyard. That would work. Okay, so if this is the top of my bag about right here, right? Like I said, you don't need to accommodate the depth of your bag, the front to back depth, because it'll just get too long. You think it should be shorter? I was trying to make it cover that zip pocket. And also so that if you don't use a closure, it'll be secure still. Okay, cool, late night. Well, I'm going to check them out. I just want to know what they are. So, all right, so I'm just going to add maybe like an inch. We can always add to it, right? So this is going to be my depth. And then now I need flap like to stitch onto the back of the bag. So like this one, I just love this. And look at that, their depth is 3 inches, but their little piece there isn't, and it goes down the side of the bag. Do we want to do that? We could do that. I'm kind of excited about this. So basically they went like this, right? But not from there. Oh, I have to think about this. This one's kind of, okay. So this is the top of the bag right here. Then they went out from there, from here. Okay, so let's see. Ooh, I love a puzzle. This is gonna be awesome. Like that. Right? And we'll blend that in. And then we have this. We'll come down. And we'll stitch it to the back of the bag right there. Both sides, what does that mean? Wider. Both sides wider. Actually, I'm not sure. Partly it's because I'm hungry, and partly because performance pattern drafting is kind of not something I'm adept at, but I am a little uncertain about this. Let's see. I might cut this out of a scrap piece, try it first. Actually, let's just cut this out of paper and try it right now. Yeah. I was thinking this pattern would be ready by next week, but I don't think it's going to be ready by next week. I'm an optimist like that, though. But heck, maybe I would sew this in my green canvas. Ooh, that stuff's so stiff, though. They give you lots of tricks on how to lighten it up, like with a hair dryer and just handling it and stuff like that. So then this is my flap. Wait, it goes like that. Actually, I think that's gonna work. Oh, bye, Terry. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, Leslie, I think it can. Kinda. I think that's a good start, though. All right, and then I want to find my center on this because that way later on I can space whatever closure I want. Okay, so we're really close now. We have our baffle. The only things I don't have sorted out right now are The strap length, the hardware. Bye, Eileen. Are you, oh, you're saying bye to, you're saying, Eileen, you're saying goodbye to Terry. That's Terry. Let's see. So we have, I don't have the hardware sorted out yet. I need to write down all my zipper lengths. I can do this off camera because that's not something you guys really, yeah. We need to figure out our key tamer thingy. And then I think at this point, let's hold off on what we add to the back. I think I would want a pocket back here. I would probably just put a straight piece of fabric here and sew it straight down the middle. Just keep it really simple, have 2 compartments, you know? So if I did that, and it was right here, that actually wouldn't be big enough for a piece of paper. So I probably would actually do maybe 3/4 of the way and 1/4. That way I could put some paper back there, you know? And that pocket, I just need one more piece of paper. That pocket, you know, we could make it even like 8.5 inches tall, you know? So we need to figure out our closures, our strap, and our key thingy. So all the things involving hardware and personal preference. And I would probably stitch it down like right there, like that. That's kind of what I think I would do on the back. This is a little narrow. Maybe I would do more like this. Yeah. I think I'd put this on the back. So this one big piece is a pocket, stitch down. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we have our front, we have our back. We have our flap. We don't know how it'll work with this. But you know, I feel like let's see, this is ending up here. You know, honestly, if this is too, this flap hangs down too low, we could swap this for this. And then this would be under the deeper side. Because this side is still high enough for this. So there's that. So we could swap these two. Or make the flap go the other way. You could have a covered zip on the back of yours, Rachel. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Like on there, yeah. That would be really easy. It's going to be the module messenger bag, you know? I sometimes put my fabric scraps in the recycling bin so that they're out of my way. Okay, I think we've got a really good start. Once I stop streaming and I eat, I'll probably think of something we missed. Eileen. You don't understand, Eileen. I'm in gaming streams so much that sometimes I get called mama, I get called waifu, which I had to look up. I get called all kinds of weird things. They're just affectionate terms. It doesn't even bug me. I just assumed you were calling me that. That's how corrupted I am at this point. Yeah, right, late Nat? Yeah, exactly. Just remember, we already have we have 3 zippers on here, but a 4th wouldn't be a big deal, you know? I even think, like, if you were up for it, I would make like a little, you could even put like a zippered welt pocket right here on your flap. you know? Or maybe you put it on, like for me, I'm right-handed. But if I wore it on this side, if you're a lefty, that would be a good spot. If you were a righty, you might want it on this side here. Or you flip your flap and you flip your front. But that would be kind of a nice little drop down pocket on the inside of your flap. And you could put something in there like whatever. We all have our things, right? I think this would be handy for someone who needs to wear like the ID when they go into work and they want it right there. Yeah, that would be pretty easy to sew too, Eileen, because we wouldn't have to finish it completely. We could just turn back the hole and place a zipper under it and top stitch around it, you know? And then if you just cut 2 of your flap, you cover the whole thing. Stitch around your pocket so it's confined, you know? Oh, I bet, Rachel. I bet things do pop out. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, tomorrow, I think I wrote that today we're cutting it out. I don't know what I was thinking, but I wrote it on the Instagram post that we're going to cut this out tomorrow. So I'm going to shop my fabric stash. I have black Cordura, but I feel like that's going to be too dark. Maybe I'll use this purple canvas I have so that it's could end up becoming a actual bag for someone. And then we'll work on that. And then Saturday we might be back right here refining the pattern again. And coming up with all our details and revisiting some of the things we like and we don't like about the design. So this is fun. This popped into my head the other day. I'm really glad it did. So I hope you guys are into this too. I'm into it. So anyway, I hope you guys are all staying sane at home. And like I said, there's those free coloring pages for kids. Sign up for my newsletter and you can get the other like 5 things I think I put on there. I think they were like the stop motion app, doing a fairy garden, sewing on the burlap. You saw my little kitty cat that I showed you at the beginning. There were a couple other things, but it was a really simple newsletter. But what I'm really trying to say is if you want a couple of free patterns, there is my Notions case pattern. I know I have one right here. Where is it? Right here. So the Notions case pattern is there for free in the welcome email. And there is a closet organizer, which I know some of you are at home now busily organizing those spots of your house you've been meaning to get to. And so there's that. I don't send many newsletters. I really don't. I sent maybe 5 last year. It's not like the Chicken Boots days at all. But I do give really great discounts to upcoming patterns. I think I gave you guys 15% off. And Patreon people got 25% off of the thing. So yeah, you do, Eileen. That's good. I'm glad you're the one helping them out. We can't see Maggie now. Like, we're totally barred from going there. And she's just not adept at using a phone anymore. So I'm sure she's kind of feeling a little isolated, even though she lives in a home with people. Hi, Rebecca. Ah, are you the only one on campus? We're just now signing off. They put me through the paces. I designed we got the whole bag pretty much ready to prototype. So tomorrow we're gonna cut it out and yeah. So and Rebecca's the one that reminded me to say tell a friend, but it sounds like you guys do that and I really appreciate that. I got a lot of new subscribers since yesterday, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're welcome here. All abilities, sewing levels, sizes. People from all over the world come and hang out with us. And it's a really great time. It's always this chill. Usually I cut something out on Wednesdays and I sew it Thursday and Saturday. Sometimes we do pattern drafting. I got a new amazing, fantastic dress form. We'll be doing draping. We talk about fit and construction. I'm really good at production sewing, pattern drafting, design, engineering, all the kind of like that kind of patterny side. I'm really good at that stuff. And I'm not bad at sewing either. Yes, exactly, Eileen. Me too, Rachel, but have a fantastic long weekend, Rachel, getting away from it. I hope we're all here when you get back and you're not the last one standing. I'm just teasing. And know that you guys are all welcome to hang out here. I know things are a little crazy right now. So just try and keep the crazy at bay and just know that all things are temporary and we'll always be here for you. So, oh, and I accepted 21 people to the Facebook sewing group that we have. I'm really sorry that I took so long to do that. I really am never on Facebook. I deleted everything on my personal side. Sorry about that. I'm a terrible hostess. I'm really glad when I log in and I see someone posted a question, all of you guys helped them out, and I'm just not doing that. So I'm really sorry about that. It is a very relaxed area, but you can post pictures and fit issues and ask questions in there. So feel free to do that. It's Sewist. So live on Facebook. I don't know. All right, you guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. And I'll see you tomorrow for cutting this out. That should be fun. I think we'll probably refine a few things tomorrow too. So, all right, you guys. Bye. Oops. Bye.